Welcome back, guys. This is Alex again from Shop Before Podcast. Today we're going to be tackling another topic. This topic is never forget where you came from. This is something I do believe that a lot of people forget because generally you start on a humble beginning where you want the most simple things in life, and then the more complicated life gets, the more you want more and more from it, believing that once you have everything your heart desires, that you'll be ultimately happier than you've ever could be with having less in your life. One thing that's a factor is, as long as you don't step over your values, because it's your values that you have in life that you set that keep you humble, and it's your values that keep you true. And without following your values and just stepping on people just to reach those goals, eventually you're going to find out when you do get what you want in life that you'll be not so happy with how you got there, because you need to be proud that you reach those goals and through perseverance, not through dishonor and not through doing everything that goes against everything you say that you are. So you've got to be true to yourself, and by doing this you'll find that when you do reach what you want, you're happy. And even if you don't get to the top of where you expect, you still will be happy knowing that you didn't give up on your values and you didn't bowl people over just to get those things that you craved in life. So the hardest thing is actually trying to figure out what you want in life, because it's not an easy task to know what you want to spend your day doing. But that's one of the things that goes with growing up and getting familiar with what makes you happy and what you strive for. But the most important thing is you should remember your roots, because that's what keeps you grounded, loyal to the person that you once were before the struggles of getting old and responsibilities taint your views. Because what happens is the more busier lifestyles we lead, the more complicated lifestyles we lead. We forget that we were kids hoping for a better future, and we tend to ignore the fact that those views we had started off when we were young. So there was an innocence to our wanting our dreams to come true, and it's a dishonor if we just live a lifestyle that is purely selfish, ignoring the fact that we did the things that didn't ring true to us. It's something that if you can't talk about how you got to where you got and be proud of it, it's obviously done in the wrong way. So one thing is, if you be true to yourself, and by being true, you can dig deep into the kind of person you are and what you actually strive for. It doesn't always have to be the biggest job in the world, as long as it's fulfilling, as long as what you're doing makes you happy. Not everyone needs to be the top of the game to be triumphant. You can live a simple life and still be a happy one. So the hardest thing is that you've got to work out what you want. By knowing what you want, you're not going to go onto a path that will take you somewhere completely uncomfortable, because it doesn't sort of suit your actual needs. So that's why, as a younger person who grows up, you strive for things that aren't corrupt, and whether it's money, fame or fortune, or just a simple life, getting there is half the battle, and you don't want to fast track that and lose your personality or your honesty in your way of doing things purely just so you can reach the goal. You've got to stay true to yourself, otherwise you won't be happy with how you got there. So that's a thing I think that people sometimes do forget where they started from, because to reflect back on the past about what they wanted, it's not always as simple as going a pathway that won't have tough decisions. But if you factor in that you should be treating other people the way you want to be treated, and you don't step on people just to get you what you want. At least knowing that, and then the energy that you leave people, that when you have left the conversation, if they see you as a positive person or a good person, that reflects on how you've treated them. So if you're someone who believes you've got to be mean to, or you've got to be hard without any emotion, or you've got to be someone who doesn't really think about how other people feel, purely focus on what you're feeling, when you leave, you're going to find yourself having a lot of money, possibly, but with no one to share that money with, or no one to share your company with, because no one really wants to spend time with someone who is selfish. So, or someone who is just not a nice person. So hopefully you can get to where you need to be without actually having to give up on that innocence that you would have once had. And hopefully you don't have to justify your actions with lies, because that just points out that you yourself know that you've done wrong by getting where you are now, purely on the suffering of others. So if you never forget where you came from, you will appreciate that you were a person who had honour, and hopefully you didn't lose it through the challenges of trying to reach your goals. So I just want to say thank you again for listening. That's all I've got to say on this episode, and stay true to who you are, and don't sacrifice your respectful ways purely just so you can get what you want, because it will not lead to happiness, because you have to lie to yourself that you are a nice person even when you're not, and you have to lie to yourself that you didn't step over the people that were there for you, the people that helped you get to where you got, and ultimately when you do get there, you're going to find yourself looking backwards and questioning, did you do the right thing? And all that's going to do is leave you with regret, and you would have half your dream, which is the goals that you have been achieved, but then the company will be lacking, because no one wants to spend time with someone who will do anything just so they can get what they want. We need to be more consistent with how we act around people. We need to be the same as what we expect people to treat us. So be good, and hopefully you'll get your dreams, and just remember to focus purely on how to attain those, and not to step on people, so that way you can at least be happy once you do eventually get to where you need to be. Thanks again, and I'll hear you guys on the next episode, and that's all for me for now. Thank you. Bye.